Hey everyone, I know, not my usual video, but I just maxed out the new Secondary Innervate arcane and I had to make a video about it. Let me preface this by saying I'm not a build maker. That's not my area of expertise. Builds are not where I tickle the taint of, so to speak. With that being said, I will showcase multiple builds for anyone that would want them. A lot of them are probably not my original builds, or at least not 100%. Anyway, enough of that. What is Secondary Innervate? Secondary Innervate is a new arcane they added in 1999. You can get it from doing the Tank Assassinate, face-off missions, opening Scaldra caches, doing the calendar, or just buying it from Eleanor. Secondary Innervate's rank 5 description reads, on hit, increase critical chance by 10%, resets after 6 big critical hits. What is a big critical hit? It is your orange crits. So when your crit chance exceeds 100%, you will start having a chance to hit orange crits. Another thing, you might read the words increase critical chance by 10% and think it works like the crit mods. It does not. The additional crit chance is, well, additive. So every hit will add an additional flat 10% crit chance to your weapon. What this basically means is you can put this on a weapon with a really high hit rate and you'll be cycling through orange crits so often you think you're in the Tour de France. So this is the normal build I used for the Akarius Prime. It has Cascadia Flare as the arcane and Prime Pistol Gambit, so your crit chance will be around 51%. Let me show you how it looks like against level 200 Xmas Steel Path Heavy Gunners. Also, yes, I am showcasing this with a full Gauss meter and energized munitions because I would not use the Akarius Prime under any other circumstances. So, as you can see, it's doing just fine. It's pretty good, but I want you to look at the crit numbers. Those are mostly yellows. So let's switch over to the Innervate build. In this build we can drop Prime Pistol Gambit to lower our crit chance to 18%, but Secondary Innervate will handle all the crit we will ever need. So we replace Prime Pistol Gambit with Lethal Torrent and I'll let you see what happens. Yeah, it clears quite a bit faster. Just look at the amount of orange crits there are, even yellow crits. There's barely any white numbers. You do lose the 480 base damage from taking off Cascadia Flare, but you honestly don't need it on the Akarius Prime. And you get orange crits, and orange crits means bigger number, and bigger number means good. Alright, next up I want to show you the Kuva Nukor. If you don't know, this weapon has a very low crit chance, but a really high base critical damage. This is the basic setup you run with Cascadia Flare and a frame with Arcane Avenger and Combat Discipline to give you that flat 45 crit chance. And this is how it looks. As you can see, not terrible. Once you build up the galvanized shot stacks, it ends up being pretty good, but there's a lot of those white numbers, and those white numbers do not take advantage of the Kuva Nukor's incredible crit damage at all. Alright, so let me show you the Innervate setup. Let me switch off of Jade so I don't have Arcane Avenger on. So this build is exactly the same, but you swap out Cascadia Flare for Secondary Innervate. The loss of base damage is more than made up by Innervate's crit chance, and Galvanized Shot will carry our base damage anyway. Here is how it looks. So keep in mind you still have to build up the Galvanized Shot stacks, so that's where the first magazine's going. But once you get the Galvanized Shot stacks, it starts ripping. The Arcane Avenger setup took about 3.5 magazines to clear this whole pack. The Innervate setup only took 2 magazines, so that's almost 2 times better. Do I need to say any more? Alright, next up I want to show you the Furis. This was the Blast Electric build I was running on it with Secondary Merciless. Here's how it looks. I'm going to skip the part where I build Merciless stacks and show you how it performs with max Merciless stacks. As you can see, not bad, but has a little bit of a damage problem because of the low crit chance. Now we'll swap over to the Innervate build. This swaps Cascadia Flare with Secondary Innervate and swaps Prime Pistol Gambit with Hornet Strike. Here is how it looks, and the damage is quite a bit better, and you don't have to worry about keeping up those Merciless stacks. Alright, so what I want to show you next is just a little bit of gameplay of the Akarius Prime using the Secondary Innervate setup on Steel Path Conjunction Survival. As you can see, this thing absolutely cleans rooms up, and Secondary Innervate has only made it better. You can use this setup to basically room clear any Steel Path mission you want. This is AoE nuking at its finest. This setup is so good that it turns the steel path into the paper path because I'm cutting through them like paper. Anyway, that should be about it for this video. I just wanted to show you how good this arcane is. It's honestly super enabling for a lot of low crit chance weapons to get orange crits pretty consistently. Basically, if it has low crit chance and high fire rate, you can just put Secondary Innervate on it and it will solve your crit issues. You just have to make sure you make up for that base damage loss from taking off Merciless or Cascadia Flare. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, learned anything new, leave a like, hit the subscribe, leave a comment, you know the deal, and I will see you in the next one.